Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're brand new here, welcome. My name is Brittany, and this is where I share with you everything I know about health and fitness while working full-time as an ICU nurse. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get into the video. So today I'm going to talk all about fat loss, weight loss, but more specifically fat loss. There's a lot of ways you can go about losing weight, losing fat. And so I've gotten so many questions, especially at work, from my coworkers asking me, how do I lose weight? How do I lose fat? Like, I've tried all these diets, they're not working. What do you recommend to lose fat? And, all these questions. And honestly, I never give anybody a straight answer because that is a loaded question. It has a lot of factors involved with weight loss. Weight loss is complicated, and I think that's why a lot of people just kind of give up and sort of just go about their life and just not even tackle the issue, even though they need to lose fat. It is an overwhelming question. It's an overwhelming subject. So I am here to kind of clear a little bit of things up for you guys and to let you know about my recommendations for fat loss. I just have to say a disclaimer real quick. I am not a dietitian. I'm not a professional at this. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor. I am a registered nurse, so I know a little bit about nutrition, but I've just been in the health and fitness world for a long time. And I've experimented with my own body and my own nutrition, and I have found what works for me. So, my job is just to share my knowledge and what I've found works for me, and then you can try it out and see if it works for you. But yeah, this is a loaded topic, so I'm going to give you the simplest version of my answer to weight loss and fat loss. So I have 5 really simple steps to fat loss, and I want to share them with you in this video. But before I get into that, I do want to also say there is a time and place to do these 5 simple steps I'm going to share with you, but there is also a time and place to intuitively eat. In other words, for me right now, I'm eating when I'm hungry and I'm stopping eating when I'm full. So I'm listening to my own internal hunger cues right now. I'm not doing these steps that I'm going to share with you. I'm just listening to my body. And I think that's super, super, super important for, living a holistic, healthy lifestyle, is really just learning to listen to your own hunger cues and really listening to your body and eating when you're hungry and then stop when you're full. The body is very smart, and it will tell you when to eat and when to stop eating. Just like hundreds of years ago, people have always ate like that, and no one has really fought the whole being overweight and obese until the modern age. And I think there's a lot of factors involved with not being able to lose weight. For instance, stress levels huge. If you're really stressed every single day, your body's going to hold on to fat. How well are you sleeping? If you're not sleeping that well, then your body's going to hold on to fat, and it's going to be really hard to lose fat. What is your relationship with food? Do you have some sort of eating disorder? Are you binging a lot? Also, how well are you eating? Like, are you eating all processed food or all nutritionally dense food? Because that plays a huge role in fat loss. What is your gut health like? Are you pooping every day? That has a huge role on stress on the body and fat loss. What is your mental health like? Are you depressed a lot? Are you anxious? Are you a nervous person? Because that's going to play a role on fat loss and weight loss too. So when people ask me, how do I lose weight? I'm like, okay, I need to know a lot more information about you in order to tell you what I think you should do. So without getting into all that, without getting into like meeting one-on-one with you guys, I'm going to get into the 5 really simple steps that you can do. So I have found the best way to lose body fat is to start tracking your food. Start tracking all the calories that you're eating every single day, especially if you've never tracked before. I remember starting to track my food a few years ago, and I hadn't done it before. This was probably around 2015. I kind of played around with it, and I was actually very shocked at how many calories is in a portion size and what portion sizes should look like. They were a lot smaller than I thought they were, and like how many fat, protein, and carbohydrates, which are macronutrients, how much is in each food group, I really was surprised. So if you haven't tracked food before, I highly recommend that you do that. So that is actually the first simple step to take in the 5 steps, is to track your food. You can do this in several ways. So you can literally do the old-fashioned way and write down all the food that you eat every single day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything. Or you can take, some people will do like a picture journal and they'll take pictures of all the food that they eat. But what I recommend that you do, and if you haven't heard of this app before, and if you don't have it yet, I highly recommend that you download the free app, MyFitnessPal. So I'll put a little picture of the icon right here. This app is really user-friendly. I want to say most people in the health and fitness world have used this app before or currently use it. It's extremely popular. It's very user-friendly. It's super convenient. I'm going to show you in the next clip, if you've never used MyFitnessPal before, what it looks like and how to use it real quick in a couple minutes. And then I'll meet you back here. Once you've downloaded the app, you want to click on it, and here's what the home screen looks like. At the top is your calorie goal that you can change, and then it counts down for you the amount of calories you have left for the day, which is really cool. You can start adding in your food to your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm going to type in banana here, and then I'll search for it. And I'm just going to click medium banana. That's what most bananas are, is medium size. And then it gives you the amount of calories and the macro breakdown, which is really cool. The amount of carbs, fat, and protein that's in a banana. So then you just check mark that, save it, and it saves to your breakfast. And then it also adds it to the top. So then it's counting down for you the amount of calories you have remaining for the day. Also, you can add in your weight, what your starting weight is, and the date. And then at the very bottom, you can click the add mark and you can add your water intake. You can add, another area to add your breakfast, lunch, and dinner is at the bottom there. You can also add exercise, whatever exercise you did for that day. So if you click on cardio, let's say you ran for 30 minutes, so you can type in running. So I think I typed in running here. And then you can choose kind of how fast you ran. So yeah, let's just say I did a 10-minute mile. That's about right. I'm not a runner. And then say that I ran for 30 minutes. And so it tells you the amount of calories you probably burned. And it'll add it, see, to the top under exercise. I had already exercised a little bit this day, so it already has some additional calories there. And then it'll add it to the amount of calories that you have remaining, so you have more calories left for the day. You also keeps track of the amount of macros that you've eaten for the day so far. And here's like a different picture of the macros that you've eaten so far. And then it further breaks it down for you, like how much saturated fat you've eaten so far, how much cholesterol. So the micronutrients also it keeps track of for you, which I really like. And that's about it in a nutshell. Okay, so hopefully that little tutorial kind of helped you guys out. So in step number 1, track your food using MyFitnessPal. You want to track all of your food, every single thing you put in your mouth for 1 week, everything. So during that 1 week, don't change anything about your diet. Don't start dieting. Don't change what you eat. Just eat normally. Don't change anything. But the only thing you'll do is just track everything that you eat. Everything that you normally eat, don't change anything. Okay, after that 1 week, you want to average out the amount of calories that you're eating to get kind of the average amount of calories that you're eating for 1 day. You want to get your baseline calorie intake for 1 day without dieting, without trying to diet, without changing anything. You want to get your average calorie intake, which will be like your baseline calorie or your maintenance calories for 1 day. Okay, so that's all step number 1. Track your calories for 1 week and then average them out to get like about how many calories that you eat in 1 day. And that's your maintenance calories. Okay, step number 2. Once you know how many calories you're eating about every single day, then you want to get your what's called baseline metabolic rate, or BMR. So what this is a calorie number that you burn just at rest. So without doing anything. So it's the amount of calories you burn without doing anything. Just you're on the couch all day watching Netflix, just chilling. How many calories that you burn just sitting there not doing anything? That's your BMR, or your baseline metabolic rate. So I have used a calculator online that's called calculator.net. I'll put it right here, the website. If you go on that website, it's super easy. They have you put in your height, your age, your weight, and how active you are. And it kind of gives you around like a calorie number that will be your BMR. This is really important to know around what your BMR is. This is not like a super accurate, but it kind of gives you an idea of how many calories you burn at rest. And it's important to know this because you don't want to drop your calories below your BMR. You don't even want to go near your BMR, because if you think about it, like, we're not sitting on the couch all day long. We're walking around, we're working out, we're eating. You know, the eating process and the digestion process really burns calories too. And especially if you're eating a lot of fiber, you know, we're drinking water, we're talking, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff during the day. So you don't want to go near your BMR. Definitely you don't want to go below that. So step number 1 is to track your intake for a week. Okay, and then average that out. That's going to be your maintenance calories. Step number 2 is to get your BMR calories. Okay, step number 3 is to take a before picture. So before you start cutting your calories, before you start dieting, you want to take a picture of yourself. You actually want to take several pictures of yourself. The reason why you want to take a picture of yourself and not weigh yourself beforehand is because weight is not a very good indicator of weight loss or fat loss, because your weight can fluctuate depending on, you know, if you're a girl, if you're on your period. Like when I'm on my period, I gain at least 5 to 10 pounds in water weight. And so if you're like just using the scale as an indicator of fat loss, you're going to get very frustrated very fast. You know, or, you know, if you weigh yourself in the morning and you ate a huge meal the night before, some of that food's still going to be in your stomach, and that's extra weight. Or if you're trying to gain muscle and you're working out every day, muscle gain is going to make you gain weight. The number on the scale is not a good indicator of fat loss or losing weight. So what I recommend that you do is to take pictures of yourself. And so I'm going to insert a little video clip on how to take pictures of yourself. What you want to do is you want to have as minimal amount of clothing as possible on you. So I recommend a bikini or a sports bra and shorts, or, you know, anything that you want to show as much of your body as possible. And you want to stand in front of a full-length mirror, and you want to use that same mirror for all your other progress pictures. And you want to be in those same clothes also, and the same time of day on your other progress pictures too that you take. So you want to stand in front of the mirror, minimal clothes on, and you want to kind of do this with your arms here, so you can see like your whole body, that so your arms don't get in the way of, like, you know, your trunk and everything. So you want to stand like this, and then you want to stand with your arms to your side, and then you want to come to one side and put your arms in front like this, and then down again like this. And then you want to take a picture, if you can, or a video would be good too, of the back of you also, if you can. And then you will also want to take a picture of the other side of you too. So you want like 3 or 4 pictures in one session. So that's step number 3, take pictures of yourself. Okay, now step number 4 is you're gonna start subtracting calories. So that's why you want to know what your baseline maintenance calorie intake is. So what you want to do, what I recommend people doing, and this is what I did that worked for me. Now this isn't going to work for everybody, but you can try it, is subtract 100 calories from your baseline maintenance calorie intake. So for instance, I know this just because I've tracked for a while, a few years ago, that I eat around 2,400 calories a day. So if I want to lose some fat or weight, I want to subtract 100 calories from that. So I want to eat around 2,300 calories. And you're going to do that. So I would do that for every single day the following week. So just instead of eating 2,400 calories a day, I eat 2,300 calories a day. The only rule to keep in mind is to keep your grams of protein that you eat a day high. You want to keep, if you're a female, you want to keep your grams of protein, which is a macronutrient, above 100 grams. That's why the MyFitnessPal is really key to use in my 5 simple steps to weight loss and fat loss, because the MyFitnessPal app keeps track of how many grams of protein that you're eating every day. It also keeps track of how many grams of fat you're eating and carbohydrates, but those 2 macronutrients I don't normally worry about too much. I always worry about the protein, because if you're slashing your calories, you don't want to lose muscle mass. All that muscle mass that you gain, that you work so hard on gaining, you don't want to lose that. So you want to keep your protein up as your body's trying to figure out, oh shoot, like what is she doing to me? Like slashing these calories, and now I you know, like I'm working harder now. You know, when the body starts going through changes, it kind of sometimes will sort of freak out, and you can lose muscle mass. So you want to make sure that your grams of protein is higher than 100. If you're a girl, if you're a guy, you want to keep it around above 120 grams. If you're a guy, you want to slash about 100 calories from your maintenance, and try that for a week. Okay, so then you want to go back to step 3 and take another picture of yourself again. So of course, you know, this, you know, side pictures, take more progress pictures in a week. If you see some progress happening, keep going with what you're doing. You know, don't slash more calories yet. Just keep with the, like for instance, for me, I would keep with the 2,300 calories a day if you're seeing a little bit of progress. If you're seeing a ton of progress, like all of a sudden you're just shrinking down and you're like, whoa, yeah, this is awesome. You're going too fast. So I would play with the numbers a little bit. You can, if you're only slashing 100 calories a day and you're seeing tons of progress, maybe just keep going with that. Because if you slashing less than that is like maybe not, I don't know, it's not that much. My point to this is you don't want to see a ton of progress the first couple of weeks, because the problem with that is that your body is losing too much fat and weight quickly. And actually, if you're seeing a lot of progress in the first week or 2, that's actually water weight that's coming off you. Fat, you don't lose fat that fast. But if you're seeing a lot of progress that quickly, you just want to be careful, because your body cannot maintain that speed for very long. And then when you start eating normally again, you're just going to pack on all that weight again really fast. So you want to just be careful. Slow progress is good progress. You really don't want to see progress quickly, is my point. There's not really like a tangible thing I can tell you, like this many inches or whatever. If you are weighing yourself, just be careful if you're weighing yourself, because weight fluctuates, like I just said. If you're weighing yourself, you only want to lose about 0.5 to 1 pound a week. If you're like overweight. Now, if you're obese, that's why I would have to like talk with you to give you my opinion or advice. You might want to lose maybe like 1.5 pounds a week, but the point is it's supposed to be slow. It's not supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be slow. And that's why people get frustrated, because people want quick, fast results. Like right now, okay, I'm gonna go on a diet in a week, I'll be good. No, that's not how it works. And if you do like a starvation diet for a week, you're not losing fat, you're just losing water weight, and then your metabolism will go down. And then when you start eating normally again, your metabolism will be too low, and then you'll pack on that weight even faster. So that's why you want to give your body a chance to adjust. The progress is supposed to be slow to give your metabolism a chance to adjust, and you don't want to drop your metabolism. That's dangerous. You don't want to do that. Okay, so step number 5, and I've already kind of said this in step number 4, but play around with your calories. So if you're not seeing that much progress after a couple of weeks, or I want to say 2 to 3 weeks, if you're not seeing progress, okay, then cut your calories by another 100 calories again, or 50. You don't have to do it by 100. And so there isn't really like I said, you have to just pay attention to your body, play around with the numbers a little bit. And that's why people get frustrated on weight loss. There isn't like a concrete, like, this is how many calories you're going to eat for this amount of days. There are macro calculators out there. So you can Google like a macro calculator, and there are a lot out there that can kind of tell you what your macros should be. So how much protein, fat, and carbs you should be eating a day according to the calculators. But I don't believe in those, because everybody's so different, and those are just like general calculators that are being applied to everybody. And that's why it's a little complicated because you got to kind of like play around with it and be patient with yourself and see what works for you. I know that for me, after playing around with food for so long, that I feel better on a higher fat, lower carbohydrate diet. Even though I'm very active, when I eat a lot of carbs, I just feel very sluggish. I feel, my skin starts breaking out even more. So I feel better on a higher fat, lower carb diet. But that's just me. I know a lot of people that thrive on a higher carb, lower fat diet. With all of that said, if you are subtracting your calories and you have an allotted number of calories that you want to eat in a day, and if you burn through all those calories and you get to dinner time and you only have like a certain amount left and you eat all those calories and you're still hungry, eat. So this is so important, you guys. So you never want to starve yourself. If you're actually truly hungry after you eat all of your allotted number of calories for the day, you need to eat, because listening to your own body, listening to your hunger cues is so important. You don't want to lose that. That's how we get into disorderly eating habits. That's how we get into bad relationships with food. So a lot of times when I've tracked, like I'll get to my 23 or 2400 calories in a day and I'm like, and it'll be 8 o'clock at night and I'm like, I'm hungry. Like I want a snack before I go to bed. I do it because the thing with that is that maybe you exercised more than you normally did that day. Maybe you were more active. Maybe you got up really early that day, so you're burning more calories that day, and your body actually needs more calories. And so you want to listen to your body at the same time as looking at the numbers. You do want to be strict with yourself, of course, if you want to lose weight and lose body fat. But if you're truly hungry at the end of the day and you've gone through all your calories, you do need to feed your body and listen to your body. And of course, there's all these things like, you want to make sure it's not emotional, that you're just not craving something, that you actually truly are still hungry and you need to eat. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've tracked for many years. I've tracked my food intake for many years. And so now I haven't tracked my food intake for at least, I want to say 2 years. And for me, tracking for me was a good learning experience. It really helped me know what's in food, what my body responds to the best, and things like that. So I know when I eat something, even though I'm not writing it down or putting it in MyFitnessPal, I know kind of how much macronutrients are in there, how much protein, fat, and carbs is in something, and what my portion sizes should be. And because I've been aware of it for so long. And so that's really the whole goal of tracking your food, is to become more aware of what you're putting in your body, to become aware of the nutrients that are in food, and to really pay attention to how you're feeling with certain foods, what foods work for you, what foods don't. So to me, that's really the point of tracking, because tracking your food every single day is not sustainable. To me, it messes with my mental health, messes with my mind. I end up not enjoying food very much because I'm like trying to track every single little thing that I put in my mouth. And it's fine for the temporary, so that you know what you're putting in your body. And if you have like a fat loss goal, perfect, that's great. But after a couple of months, or maybe 3 months, 4 months max of tracking, you want to give yourself a mental break. You want to give your body a break. But after tracking, you'd be surprised, because you'll be more aware of what you're putting on your plate and what you're putting in your mouth and what different foods have and things like that, without actually writing it down. And it's was very freeing to me when I stopped doing that. And I was like, oh wow, I have all this knowledge because I've tracked for so long, but I don't have to actually track. It's a very good feeling. And so to me, that's the point of tracking. That's the point of maybe some fat loss. But when, even before however long you want to track for, if you find yourself obsessing about food and not enjoying food anymore, it's not worth it. Stop, reevaluate. Maybe you need to approach it a little bit differently. But these are just the 5 simple steps that have worked for me in the past that I recommend to people who ask me. But like I said before, weight loss is complicated. Everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's mental health is different. So, the whole big picture is that you want to eat nutrient-dense foods, whole foods, try to limit those processed foods, and yeah, you'll be good to go. Stay as active as you can every single day. And if you just cut out the processed foods and minimal sugar and really pay attention to the labels on foods, and you stay active every day, you don't have to track. That fat will start melting off, and at the same time you'll live this holistic, really nice lifestyle that everybody strives to live. Okay guys, I hope that this helps you. I hope that you learned something. I hope that this wasn't too overwhelming. I try to make it super, super simple. And you know, if you have any questions at all, please comment down below, or you can DM me through my Instagram. I'll put it right here. On my Instagram too, I have lots of workouts you can try that are mostly body weight home workouts at this point, but I am planning on doing more workouts with equipment because I know that some people do have some equipment at home. And I have some nutrition tips on there. I do a lot of IG storying because I think it's fun. So, you know, if you want to interact with me through Instagram, you know, I'd really like that. I think it's super fun. Okay, so make sure you subscribe down below and like this video if you liked it, and make sure that you hit that little bell notification icon at the corner of your YouTube so you don't miss any future videos with me, because it will notify you when I upload new YouTube videos. I am trying to post 2 YouTube videos a week just to kind of get my channel going. But thank you so much for watching, and let me know if I can help you in any way. And I will see you next time, and always remember to be kind to yourself.